On this episode of the Whiskey Tornado, we'll be tasting Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host Lance. Today we are tasting Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye. This is a bottle that I have not been able to find. Been searching everywhere for it. Huge shout out to one of our Patreon members, Ben Bernthal, for sending this in. I can't thank you enough. I've been dying to try this rye. In fact, this whole week is dedicated to Ben Bernthal. On Thursday's episode, I'm going to be doing a Whiskey Tornado versus the People, and it's samples submitted by Ben. So Ben, this whole week's dedicated to you, buddy. For those of you new to the Whiskey Tornado, let me quickly explain our scoring system to you. I have 6 categories: appearance, nose, palate, finish, availability, and value. I rank all of those 0 to 1, 0.5 being average. We add those up at the end. Anything over 3 is bar worthy. Anything over 4, you better bunker some. All right, so with all that being said, let's get into this Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye. First category is appearance. And to me, I just love the appearance of these bottles. I love the shape. I love how easily it fits on your bar. I like the label, the gold etching on it. The colors on this bottle are fantastic. You can see the color of the whiskey, which is really nice. If I had one knock on these rare breed bottles, it's the openings. They're very narrow, really thick. So when you pour it, it's hard not to spill anything. For me, it doesn't get any better than Elijah Craig neck. Because it just makes it so easy to pour. Wild Turkey Rare Breed, you guys need to work on that just a bit. All right, I have a nice pour here that's been sitting out for about 10 minutes. Beautiful color on this. Let's get into the nose. The first note I got on the nose was like a heavy dose of caramel. But then that like quickly went to like an orange zest. And I get those like citrus notes I often get in ryes if you guys have watched my reviews, but those are there. This isn't so much of that like lemon lime. This is more orange zest. Vanilla pound cake. I get a lot of that on the nose. And then over all that, I keep getting spearmint. It's not like peppermint patties. It's not like those peppermint candies. This is just spearmint over all of it. Really nice nose. I'm going to give it a 0.7 on the nose. All right, we're going to move into the palate. For those of you that are watching my videos, I did a Whiskey Tornado versus the People episode last week, and Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye was in there. And while I liked it, it didn't stand out to me like I had hoped it would. That being said, those are really like quick hitters. I'm tasting and trying to find out which one I like the best. I'm not really diving into the flavors and exploring everything. This bottle Ben sent me, I've sat down with a couple times now and been able to explore it a little bit, but let's get into the palate. Cheers, everybody. Wow. It is really what stands out to me about this is how creamy and velvety it is. I've seen some reviews where they say that like the proof hits them really bad. For me, the proof doesn't hit me too bad on this. I get that like vanilla pound cake right away, but it does have like a layer of caramel on it, which is really nice. Let me go in for another sip. Wow. To me, this drink's fantastic. Drink's really easy. I like it. I like that vanilla pound cake with caramel. There is those like spearmint notes from the rye that are showing up. I don't get orange zest on the palate so much. On the mid palate, I start to get a little bit of that peppery spice, but it's just so creamy and velvety and nice. It's really, really good. I'm going to give the palate, I think, a 0.7. I was leaning towards 0.6, but the more I drink this, the more I like it, especially as it's opening up. Yeah, it kind of changes for me. Some sips are phenomenal. Some sips almost go invisible. It's a really weird thing for me. It's hard for me to say 0.6 or 0.7. I think I'm going to go back to my original on it. I'm going to rate this a 0.6. It's good, very good. Sometimes it kind of goes invisible for me, which is weird. All right, let's move on to the finish. The finish is where that spearmint shows up for me. That like peppery rye spice or barrel spice starts on the mid palate and then transitions to the back of the palate, where I start to get those spearmint notes, and it's going and going. In fact, that was a really long finish on that sip. So it's better than average. Right now it's really good, actually. That finish is great. I'm gonna give it a 0.7 on the finish. All right, let's move on to availability. Availability is where this is gonna take a serious knock, at least for me. I know I've seen people have been able to find it, but I have not seen it anywhere. I've been searching and searching here in Illinois. I cannot find it. I've seen it pop up in a couple stores, but I mean, as soon as they're in the store, they're gone. So I'm going to give this pretty low on availability. We're going to give it a 0.2. Okay, moving on to value. This is a $65 to $75 bottle. That's, again, not easy to find. It is a great rye. Rye typically is more expensive than bourbon. What I wanted to do is compare it to one of my favorite ryes that only costs $50. And you guys, if you've watched the channel, know that I talk about this stuff all the time. But it's Pinhook's Rye Humor. This is a 95.5 rye from MGP, sourced from Pinhook. The alcohol on this is 114 proof. The alcohol on the rare breed is 112 proof. So pretty close on the proof points. I want to taste this real quick before I determine a value, because the Pinhook's, 15 to 20 bucks less than the rare breed. Oh, that Pinhook is so good. So what I would say when you compare those two, they're kind of two different animals. To me, the rare breed rye is more of that caramel vanilla pound cake with some orange zest and some spearmint notes, really creamy mouthfeel. The Pinhook is a little bit more of those like kitchen baking spices, and I couldn't tell you what spices I'm talking about. It feels like there's some baking spices in there, and maybe a little bit more towards the dilly side when you compare the two. If you want to stay away from those like little bit of a dilly note, sometimes I equate that to a citrus note where I get like lemon lime without the fizz, and I get that on the Pinhook every time I drink it, even when I've had it in blinds. The rare breed moves more away from that. I think a lot of people are probably going to like the rare breed more. We're going to give the value a 0.4. And as I'm drinking both of these, as I'm going back to the rare breed and tasting against the Pinhook, I'm actually going to move the palate score up to a 0.7 because it is a really fantastic rye. The mouth texture is just what stands out to me on it. So creamy and velvety, just a wonderful, wonderful rye. That puts this score at a 3.4, so it's definitely bar worthy. The only thing that really hurt this was the availability. If the availability is a little bit better, it may even be worth bunkering some of these. And availability is one I don't have like weighted in my scoring. Probably should be, but it's a 3.4, definitely bar worthy. Some of you are going to want to bunker these. It is a fantastic rye. Thanks again, Ben, for the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Till next time, cheers, guys.